Hey, what's up everybody? Today's video I'm going to be doing a tutorial overview of a bash script I made called ezsploit. It's a bit of a Swiss Army knife for the Metasploit framework. It's an automation tool. I know a lot of people are thinking Metasploit's already easy and automated, why make it easier? Well, this kind of just automates the process of creating payloads and starting reverse handlers without launching into the framework and navigating through all the settings. So it comes in really handy, and it's on GitHub. I got the link in the description. So it's called ezsploit, and we're going to run it as root. And what it does is it checks for all the needed dependencies for Metasploit, and if they're not running, it will start them for you, as you can see here. That way you don't have to keep the framework services running all the time. Cut down on system load only when you need it. Alright, as you can see here, Metasploit service started, scripts and payloads saved to a temp folder on the desktop here. Very minimal. You can see here we have the option to create a payload, start a multi-handler listener, exploit, that will just drop us into MSF console, and persistence. Here I forged a bunch of persistence scripts. They're nice to have on hand. Armitage launch right into Armitage, and hack the Gibson. That's just a fun points if you get the reference. Alright, so we'll jump right in here. So let's create a payload. And as you can see here, we have options for Windows, Linux, Mac, Android. We'll do a Windows payload. And as you can see here, you just set it to, you input your listen host and port, and that's all. It's generating a Windows payload, as you can see here, and it saved it into our working temp directory here as shell.exe. Pretty neat. Let's do a Linux payload here. Again, just all it needs is the listen host, or the listen host IP and the port, and it generated for us a shell.elf file, and that is a Linux executable file. We have a Mac payload. You can see here, that's the .macho extension for Mac. And finally we have the Android payload. And that generates our APK file that connects back to the specified listen host and ports. So, and you get the idea. It's just extremely simple. It spawns payloads very quickly. Okay, let's check out this next function here. Let's start a multi-handler. And again, we have options for Windows, Linux, Mac, Android. So let's fire up a Windows listener. And what it does is it sends it off into a new terminal. Boom. The neat thing about this is it just loads right into what we need it to do in the Metasploit framework. The whole process is scripted with the RC scripts. Another nice thing about this is instead of managing all your sessions in one window, we can open multiple extern windows. So we have our Windows reverse listener. Let's start a Linux reverse listener. And a Mac listener. I kind of like it personally. I mean, you have a session in each window, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so let's check out the persistence script generator. Again, Windows, Linux, Mac, Android. Let's see here. Again, all we're entering here is our host IP and the listen port. Okay, and it just kind of generates a script for you. And that is the most efficient basic Windows persistent script here. It's run at boot time, wait 30 seconds after login, I believe. Listen port, listen host. And we have the Mac and Android persistence generator. Those are a little bit trickier. I'll show you here. For the Mac here, this is the application folder on the rooted machine. And then see, we have to enter the malicious file name that's on the remote machine here. It's the default. Okay. Now what it generated here is a startup a Mac script that's going to start our malicious payload on the target system. For the Android, you just hit 4 for Android, and then you can see here it generated an Android script to our working temp folder, and it says upload to root on device. So once you establish that that back door, the first thing you want to do is go in and upload this script here to your Android phone. And what this does is it keeps our payload running when the phone reboots. Let's see here. So yeah, I mean, just makes the whole process a lot easier. Uses a lot less resources. We have our Armitage launcher, pretty self-explanatory. See? Pretty cool. I don't have yeah, I mean, basically this script is just generating Metasploit RC files and doing all the work for you. And I just have this Hack the Gibson. It's just a it's a reference to the movie Hackers, and it's got some neat animations going. So and if you check out the reverse engineering section on FreeCST, I uploaded a video on how to bypass antivirus flags with hex editing, so you can get your payloads nice and undetectable before you execute them on your target machine. I'll probably add more stuff to the script later on, maybe some port forwarding and stuff like that, but for now, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Peace.